Hey, hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing all right. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to make faceless content. Listen, I want all y'all to succeed. I want all y'all to make money. There's enough room on the internet for everyone, literally everyone. You just got to find your niche. So you click this video for a reason, so we're going to get straight to it. I'm not going to waste your time. Recently, I made a faceless channel too, actually, just to test the idea, see the water, see what's going on. So I'm going to give you a basic idea how I was able to do it. So you can minimize this and use one different software, but me personally, I find it better to use different things. Some people prefer Claude, right? Because they said it's better for coding, it's better for scripts, etc. I've used Claude, it's cool. It makes it, the information for me wasn't as digestible, but I do say Claude is very detail oriented when it comes to scripts and coding. So that may be yours. Me personally, today we're going to use Perplexity, right? This is not a sponsorship. They don't pay me to say this. I don't got a referral code. I'm just giving you what I honestly use. So I use a few different ones, but we have Perplexity here. As you can see, I'm not signed in, and I do that on purpose. The reason why I'm not signed in on Perplexity is because I want it to be unbiased as possible. So it's treat me as a first-time user, which is best when you're trying to move forward when it comes to faceless content. So first, you're going to decide if you want to do Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc., because that will determine how you go. Me personally, I did the YouTube, and y'all can do this as well. So first, we're going to decide what is going on in the world of YouTube. I think in this area that Gemini is better, and the reason why I say that is because Gemini is actually tied to YouTube. Because if you don't know, Gemini is owned by Google. Google owns YouTube. So now we can get real information. I have used ChatGPT and I have used Google Gemini, and sometimes I see conflicting information when it comes to YouTube, but I'm more prone to go to Gemini because once you start using both, ChatGPT sometimes will tell you straight up, I don't have access to this or I can't do this. So I use Google Gemini. So what we're going to do to make things easier, you want to find a niche that is currently trending or easy to get into. So let's say you care only about money. You only care about money. You only care about ease of access. What are the top 10 niches in YouTube when it comes to faceless content, right? What are the top 10 niches in YouTube when it comes to faceless content? We want to consider RPM because that's where the money comes into, right? And we want to consider competition and virality, right? Because we want to go viral early. So real simple. And by the way, there's two options on here. You can do the fast or you can do the thinking. So the thinking or the fast is just a quick little response. If you do thinking, it's actually going to go into the backlog, see what's going on, prompt an answer for you that is potentially more favorable. Sometimes I do either or depending on what I'm doing because we don't want to make any mistakes and we want it to use all the information it has in front of us. Then we're going to do the thinking. So it takes a little bit longer as you can see, but eventually it did come here and it actually gave us a year as well based on 2024 to 2025 performance data because what's trending 3 years ago may not be what's trending right now. So here we have the top 10. Okay, that's cool. Top 10 places, niches. Now we're going to copy this. Perplexity. The good thing about Perplexity is similar to Claude, it can be detail oriented. Typically, Perplexity does actually cite its sources, but these are some I'm going to tell it, give me a prompt I can feed Gemini. So what I did is I took everything that it said. I said, give me a detailed prompt on what I can feed Gemini to see what is the best. So what we want to do is we want to do as least amount of work as possible when it comes to creating content. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of faceless channels, they want to automate everything. So I'm about to tell y'all how to do it on the short term. I'm sorry. So here we go. It gave us the prompt. So it's talking about things like potential profit, competition, output results, RPM, personal finance, etc. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy and paste this into Gemini. It says you are a YouTube expert, right? So we're going to start a whole brand new session, come back into Gemini, boom, 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 and paste this. Of course, you know we're going to do the thinking because we're some thinking people, right? We want this to do all the thinking for us. So here it comes with a response. Sleep science and deep facts. Okay. Let's say you want to go with the number one thing because it's at the very top of the list. You know, they have this rated here because you can go viral a little bit easier, competition, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to go with number one. Sleep science and deep facts. What you want to do now, because you want to do the least amount of work as possible, you need to come up with some scripting. Remember, we want this to do as much work as possible. And if you need to rewind this video, feel free, right? I got more information dropping. This is just the beginning. This is just level one. You barely getting a taste. But let's say you want to do number one, sleep science and deep facts, right? So now we don't want to have to make a new script every video. No, we can make the AI do it for us. So you can either use ChatGPT for this or you can use Gemini. Because I'm already in Gemini and I already showed you some other LLMs, I don't want to keep switching back and forth, so I'm just going to use Gemini. So I actually have one here myself. So these are what's called gems. So they're gems. In ChatGPT, you're going to know them as spaces, but it's essentially the same thing. And what it is you can make your own custom one. So there's built-in ones, like when you go to ChatGPT, you got the, they're called GPTs or whatever. They got ones that people already made, kind of like here. Gems made by lab, a receipt, blah, 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 learning with YouTube, Clay, you got all these ones right here, a couple ones, right? So these are the ones that are already made, but we want to make our own, which is very simple. Do not get worried. You don't need to be the coder. You don't need to be an engineer. I'm going to show you how to make your own scriptwriter. But before I do that, I'm going to show you one of my previous ones. So I got one called, I made one about a cartoon character, right? It's called Kevin's Characters Asset, blah, 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 blah. But we're going to make our own. I'm going to make one brand new from scratch. I just want to show you it's not that hard. I'm not a programmer. I don't have a computer science background. These are just some of the ones I got going on, right? I got one about Kevin. I got one about your brain. Even got a YouTube a YouTube script auditor. But we're going to say that for another video. So what you're going to do is you're going to click here, New Gem. You're going to click New Gem. This is what it looks like. This is what a brand new one looks like. As you can see, it has a name, it has a description, and it has instructions. It even has knowledge. Knowledge is if you want to get more detail oriented, you can actually upload files, articles, videos, etc. so it has a better idea of what it's doing. For this particular video, we're not going to do knowledge because I'm really not trying to confuse you. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And I apologize for the people who you're like, oh, this is a lot. Don't worry. I got more content coming soon. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be breaking down all types of ways you can make money when it comes to AI software. So back to this. We got the name. And we decided we're going to do the very first option, right? We decided we're going to do the very first option. So, of course, we want ChatGPT to do all the work. So we got the first one here. Sleep science and deep facts. Copy and paste. Simple copy and paste. I'm going to do blank. I want to create, and for this you can do fast because you don't need to deep think this particular part. And the reason why I say that is because it done the deep thinking. We're not actually making a script right now, so we don't need deep thinking. We just need quick instructions. I'm going to make a sleep science and deep facts. I want to create a Google Gemini Gem for my script. So now it knows what we're doing and it knows what we're aiming to do. The beautiful thing is it's actually going to give you information on how to create the Google Gemini Gem. So even if my explanation you feel like, oh, I don't know about this, it's going to actually walk us through this. So it says, yeah, it's a brilliant strategic move. It's Goldilocks niche, blase, blase. So it knows what we're going to do. Now it's going to give us the instructions. Part 1, how to create your script writing gem. Open Gemini and look for the Explore Gems or Gem. That's what we have on the page here. We open Gemini and we got the gem, right? Boom, boom, boom. Paste the instructions below into the instructions box. So here we go, part 2, the system instructions for your Gemini Gem. You are a master scriptwriter for a viral, faceless YouTube channel specializing in sleep science and deep facts. We didn't have to come up with this. It did it for us. It's the beautiful part about the AI. It's going to make a lot of people a lot of money, and I'm going to walk your hands through this, and we're going to make this money together. Anyways. So it tells you here the persona, the task, structural rule, boom, 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 recommended workflow. But let's say, before we get all there, let's say, hey, I see it, but I still don't understand it. You can talk to it. You can be like, hey, there's a name, a description, instruction. You could be like, tell me what part I put as name, what part description, and what part instruction. I'm making this simple for y'all. Me personally, I made a couple of these so it's easier, but I'm thinking about your guys' viewpoint. And it has name. Okay, so we got an official name for our Google Gemini Gem. So we can just straight copy and paste, because why would we type all that? I mean, come on. It's 2025, about to be 2026. We're not typing anymore, right? Paste that in there, and then it tells you the next one. This is for your own organization, so you remember what a gem does. So you copy and paste this. It says right here, description, right? So we know we put that in the description. If you got a MacBook, you can just do Command V rather than pasting. If you have a different device, I believe you do what? Control V, but it's the same thing. Here's the instructions. This is the brain part of the gem. Copy and paste everything below this line into the large instruction box. So we're going to take this, boom, 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 boom. By the way, you see how it says 8 to 12 minutes? If you want to, you can be more specific when it comes to this gem. But because this is my first time making this video, and a lot of y'all are going to be seeing this for the first time, I don't want to make it too complicated. I'm just showing you the basics. But like I said, there's levels to this, and I can show you more as more videos come out. So we're going to go ahead and copy. It tells us to put it in the instructions, so we're going to paste it into the instructions. And that's it. That is it. It's that easy. Super easy. Me personally, I put a little emoji on mine to make them easier to navigate. You don't have to do that. You can. And I said we're going to disregard the knowledge section for now, because a lot of y'all, this is your first time. We hit save, and it's going to say start chat. And that's how you know it's been created. If you see this screen, start chat, then that's how you know you have successfully created your Google Gemini Gem. And let's say you want to, let's say you got a team of people you're working with, or you just want to help your friend, your brother, etc. You can actually share your gems. So you see it here, share, and it's going to give you a unique link, and you can have other people work with your team. But for right now, we're just going to close this. Now, when we go back to gems, we're going to see it there. So we go to gems. It has the ones made by them. And then we scroll down, boom, 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 boom. Okay, here's one we just made. Sleep, Science, and Deep Facts Architect. Click it, takes us to it, boom. We are officially in the script section. Now, what you want to do, let's say you have some information about, or let's say you want to make a video about this now, right? Now we want to come up with a script. Just random topic. Generate a script that talks about why you need a full night's sleep. And we hit thinking. Now, while that's thinking, normally what I do is I create a separate Google Gem for my image generation. But to make it easier, I don't want to confuse anyone in this video. So for this particular example, I'm just going to do everything right here. So one good thing that Gemini does that ChatGPT does not do is the limits. With Google Gemini, let's say you use the free version. You don't want to use any money. You're still experimenting. With the free version, you currently have about, I think it's about 100 images you can generate a day. I have the paid version, so I can do a couple hundred. But with the free version, I want to say it's 100. You come in here and you switch. You see the different things? Create images. That's Nano Banana. I know it sounds kind of funny. It's the name of the image generator for Google Gemini. Now, we're going to generate some images. And we're going to tell ChatGPT we're going to generate some images. So we are going to generate images for a script. Wait until I give you the command. I'm just letting it know why in the background the other one's thinking. So by now it should be done thinking. We go back here, boom, boom, boom. Okay, it has the script. Now, I will say this, I'll be straightforward with you. Sometimes the script can make mistakes. You may need to put a human touch on it. Respectfully, you may need to put a human touch on it. But remember what I said about the knowledge and all that. The more you feed it, like let's say I love the script, I can actually save it, put it into a Google Doc, and then put it in there as a knowledge, so now it knows what I'm talking about. And remember, I'm trying to keep this simple because I don't want to confuse y'all too much on the first one. I'm going to go more in detail on a follow-up video. But let's say we like this script. This is all hypothetical. Okay, we got our first script. It even gives us a timeline, the hook, deep dive, etc., blase, blase, blase. We have our official script. Here is the script. So let's say we want to copy and paste this, right? Copy. Here is the script. Wait for my command before you generate. Now that it has that, we can begin to generate. So when it comes to the script, when it comes to the script, you can actually have visual cues, or you can say, hey, every so seconds, give me a visualizer for this. Generally speaking, when you do a script, because it knows it's a Faceless channel, it's going to do a few visualizers. And remember, we're trying to keep it simple. So it has the script. Let's say we want to copy and paste this. It has a visual. Let's do this visual. It has a storyline, so it knows where we're going in sequence of events. We're back on this page. It has a script. We're going to use this as an image generator. Remember, this is a scriptwriter. This is strictly for scripts. So we don't want to mess with that too much. Go back here. Boom, boom, boom. Now, the good thing with Google Gemini is you don't have to constantly type generate, 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 generate. Now, even though this can feel somewhat repetitive, I think it's, in this element, superior to ChatGPT. So what I did here is it has tools. You go to tools, and you can do this on the free version, by the way, too. Free version. The paid is better, but you can do this on the free version if you want to be a cheapie. Create image. So we leave it here, and it's going to automatically do images. So let's say I paste that. While it's getting the image, notice I haven't changed it. It still has image down here, and it still has fast. So I don't need to keep switching between fast thinking, image, non-image, blah, 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 blah. It already has it in front of me. Does this not look highly detailed? Come on. And let's say you got a few visuals, right? Boom, boom, boom. I'm going slow so y'all don't miss it. But while it's waiting for this, you could easily grab the next visual if you wanted to. Boom, 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 boom. Command C, if you got a MacBook to copy, come back over here. Command V, paste. And you can keep rotating back and forth, right? If you really want to get detailed, you can make a Gemini that's going to give commands for the scripts. I'm sorry, not for the scripts, but for the images. But this just shows you right here a couple little things we got. Okay, boom, boom. Yeah, we got a couple things, boom. So you then take these images and put it in the editor of your choice. Me personally, I use CapCut because with CapCut, you can add effects. Now, this is kind of advanced, so I'm not going to talk about it in this particular video, but you may look at it like, hey, these are just images. They're not moving. Correct. But in a more advanced video, I may talk about this, but you can use what's called Midjourney. Midjourney is an AI software where you take an image like this, you drag it and drop it in there, and it can add effects to it. So it's like, let's say you got a stick man. Okay, generate a stick man. You can then take the image of the stick man, put it in Midjourney, and it's going to have it doing movements. You get what I'm saying? So you can take still images like this and put it in Midjourney. But let's say you don't want to pay the $10 a month to use Midjourney, but you're doing some type of stickman animation. You could say, make the stickman do a high five. Right? I'm keeping it simple for y'all. I'm not going too in detail for this particular example. But you might want to make the stickman do a high five. So you take this first picture, and then you have a follow-up picture. He's doing a high five, whatever. That's how you add animation. Boom. So now you could actually do a story straight off stickman, right? You put it in the editor, and you have your script. But I'm going to show y'all, like I said, I don't want to go too complicated, but I just want to show y'all one last thing real quick. And let me know what y'all think about this. Make sure you leave comments, like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want more tutorials like this, I can help y'all. I want to make this money together. There's something called 11 Labs. And the good thing about 11 Labs is it only costs $11 a month. I just caught that. Oh, I just caught that. Is that why they call it? I just caught that. Is that why they call it 11 Labs? I'm going to show y'all though. Look at the pricing. $11 per month for the creator package. Right? You know, you got the cheaper ones, $5. Even with the free one, you get a few words, but it's not too much. $5 is cool. But this one, 100K credits, it translates to, I think, about 300 minutes a month or something like that. They'll show it down there. But that's the creator package, which should be enough. Right now they got a sale. It used to be $22, but now it's $11, hence 11 Labs. But in 11 Labs, once you log in, you actually see a model here where you can do text to voice. Once again, this is just like a beginner, so I'm not going too advanced for y'all. I'm just showing you a few little things right here. Boom, boom, boom. This is a script I was experimenting with earlier. So you copy, paste, and then it reads it for you. You can choose a voice. Listen to this.
Your focus isn't broken. Your focus isn't broken. It's being hijacked. We're told from childhood that if you're just good enough or honest enough, the world will reward you. But look around. You've seen it happen.
I just want to show you all that brief thing. And then they got different voices you could use. Obviously, you can come in here. You want to use grandpa, whatever. Lets you switch the voices. It's really very easy, very simple, very affordable. You see I got 94.
We're told from childhood that if you're just good enough or honest enough, the world will reward you. But look around.
So I just want to show y'all that real quick. I didn't want to go too crazy with the details, and I hope I didn't lose y'all. I tried to think, okay, how can I view it? How can I make it the first time for people who are just now seeing this information? So there's a lot more details I can do in another part as far as pacing when it comes to the voice, because you don't want it to sound robotic. I can talk about voiceovers. I can talk about the different editing softwares, etc. But this is just to give y'all a general idea of what's out there. And keep in mind, I did like a YouTube version. You can do Instagram, TikTok, whatever you got going on, and apply some of the same general concepts or ideas. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.